Frank, you told me this thing had a HEMI in it. Where the hell did it go? We're trying to do a TV show here.
Hi, I'm TK Scott, your host for Backyard WrenchHEADS. Today we're going to meet a drafting teacher named Frank who has two really sweet cherried out Mopars, but right now he's in the process of building from the ground up a 1940 Willys coupe. Let's meet Frank.
Hey TK, welcome to my garage. Come on in. The fender takes up some of it.
Because of the frame. You were going to end up notching the fender.
Yeah, I was going to have to do this, and then that has to go level with that anyway. This will be notched. Now the 41s are notched here and here. This is a 40, but my frame, I widen this frame is 32 inches. They're usually only 25. That's how that pig's fitting in there. When I first started on this, getting into the cars, it was probably my sophomore year of high school, and I saw a car that was a 69 Super Bee. I really didn't know what it looked like. I went along with a buddy over to this house to see this car, and it basically was in a basket case. It had no engine, no trans, just a basically a B-body Chrysler shell. He said price, and I was really excited about it, and I went home and tried it on the parents, and my dad said, well, we got to see this thing before we get it.
Well, when he took me there to see this car, it wasn't a car, it wasn't a pile of parts, it was boxes of junk and one big piece.
And we all kind of went in carpool and took all the parts in different vehicles and brought it all home, and that's when I started.
And we put the thing up on barrels. I remember 55-gallon barrels, and that had the body parts on it. And that was in the garage. My wife came out, could not believe this pile of rust.
The body actually was rusted. It did have a lot of body work to be fixed because I was new at doing this. I had no knowledge of welding and very few tools. Okay, right there. Ready? Go. All right, let's see if I'm even lining up here. I could grind that out.
We need it for header clips.
Yeah, I know, but this is the side that's going to be hard.
Yeah, but a 1/16 of an inch ain't
Yeah.
gonna get us. Don't worry
Okay,
about it. You're fine.
hold that.
Well, Frank, all your buddies had told me that you consider these your therapy sockets. I don't understand.
Yes, I do. What happens is when you're a first-year teacher and you're doing that job for the first year, it can get pretty hectic for you. You know, it's a lot of stress and stuff. And instead of going maybe to a therapist or something, what I decided to do was go out and buy all these sockets.
And you're cured now. The therapy worked.
Well, it did its job for that year. Put it this way, I'm still teaching, so hey.
And obviously you do all the work yourself. You don't farm it all out, and they hardly look worn.
No, they are used, and I do not farm out the work.
Well, Frank, when I ran into you at Dream Cruise, I thought this was the car you're bringing. I didn't realize that the motor had gone sour on you.
The engine kind of went sour on me one night. I was running the car, and I developed a noise in the valve train, so I had to take it out, and I'm going to go through the engine. Because this is a numbers matching piece, I don't want to let the sound get worse or let it go to the breaking point. It would be a shame to do that, because this, like I said, this motor was born with that car, this transmission was born with it, so these two cannot be separated. You would definitely have a problem if you separated those three pieces.
I'd like to point out the fact that these things off the factory, off the assembly line, were stripped naked. No power steering, no power brakes, no external mirrors, no radio, no heater, no carpeting, no creature comforts whatsoever. It was all about the motor and all about just the car and getting from one place to another.
Yeah, that's the way they actually sold these. I couldn't believe they'd sell something like this with no seat belts and actually put a metal dashboard in front of you. There's no padding on your side there, and there's no radio, no heater, and no carpeting. It's amazing. And to not have any of those creature comforts.
This thing runs on extremely high octane fuel. I know we just had a dilemma at the gas station. You've always filled up with racing fuel. We went in there just now to top this thing off with the racing fuel. They don't carry it anymore because of the E85, because of the ethanol being the wave of the future. You're going to have a hell of a time nowadays.
Yeah, it's 13.5 to 1 compression ratio. And I'm noticing today, because we went there, we're on 108, right, and there is a heck of a difference.
What a difference. I totally agree.
It definitely needs. It needs that extra octane. I can hear it detonating, yes, in the pistons, and eventually it will cause you to have a hole in the top of your piston. I don't want to do that, so I definitely will have to keep the right fuel on hand. Probably too high. Wow.
You're gonna be fine.
It isn't too bad.
Yeah,
I think I would be down here a little lower. Well, it's kind of an obstruction. This car is, or was, actually first started out as a 4-cylinder. Nobody puts the 4 cylinders back in the Willys. It's probably even sacrilegious. I can't see why somebody would. It will be the way I want it to be, and basically be a, quote, street rod type car, like back from the 60s, the old, they call them gassers. That's it.
I helped him bring home that Willys, and that Willys didn't look much better than a pile of junk. It was rusted and rust holes through the fenders. And
when I first got the car, I had to put in the, actually the car was tub, and I had to cut them and then fit them, and then I'm in the process still of welding them up. This side fit all the way up to this lip, and then there's 2 tail lights. One goes here, one on the other side. I'm still going to run the same gas tank hole. This is the original on the 40 Willys. It'll come down, and then the gas tank will be underneath this back area. I am going to make it myself. I'm going to take a TIG welding class and make it out of aluminum and see if I can TIG weld it in class. I don't know. I have the stock dashboard. Maybe can't quite tell, but this firewall is moved back. I had to remake these plates because they would be way forward and they would be much shorter. And all the hinges had to be rebuilt. This I have a lot of time in. I had to cut these open. You can kind of see where I've witnessed these. And even on the back side, take all that out and put new plates in and drill the plates and bought new hinges for my doors. This is my firewall, the original firewall. It used to lay flat way up here. This is how forward it was. I removed the vent and then I finished this way, and then I dipped this in and then bead rolled these so that this would dip back roughly 6.5 inches. That's what I feel is adequate enough. The car's supposed to be fun. Would I drive it from here to California? No. Would I drive it from here to a show or even down to Woodward? Yes. I can kind of live with that. I'm not going to have air conditioning on it. I don't have that desire, but I will have what I want on it, like my power brakes and stuff, in the fact that I have this big engine in here. My desire is to have 1,000 horsepower at the crank. I always said it would take me 4 to 5 years on this one. This one needs a lot of work.